appreciate you coming in. Thank you, Shaw Woman, for hanging out with me. Appreciate you so much. Tonight, I just ain't gonna do a long show. I'm gonna talk about the investigation that we had last night a little bit. I do have a guest coming on. It was a very short, last minute deal. To I just asked him one time, and he said sure. So he'll be popping in here in a little bit, just giving us time to get things ready. I did go ahead and send him a link. So uh, last night we actually had a pretty decent investigation and everything, and we had a good time. Me and my dad, we normally have a little bit of something happen when we go to the bridge and everything like that. And it was really interesting. I'm just getting my phone here set up. Let's see, what do I have to do? Was a good video last night. Yeah, I just wished I had caught the gizmo going off at the starting of it. We did have some crazy things. We had several cat toys going off, and it actually knocked off the little cat toy when the gremlin went off. Something or just banged the gremlin and knocked the light off. Shouted you out before Vicky got a chance to laugh out loud. Oh yeah, Vicky is awesome. This is the Paranormal Journey show. I've got a guest coming on. We're going to find out how he actually got started in the paranormal and the journey it has taken him to what his channel and paranormal stuff has gone to now. Yes, she is. And everything like that. So y'all seen the guest on here before, but it's a mystery. I didn't put it in the chat. I mean in the description yet. So I will go back later and add some couple channels for people to check out that I follow and everything. Let's see here. First couple things I have done, I found a couple of photos of some old equipment that they had back in the Victorian days. Let's see if the computer works a little bit here. All right, this is some of the older equipment. Can you imagine carrying a bell around with you and a movie camera the size of a trash can, and a old timey camera that you have to stick them flat films in and stuff like that? That's some crazy stuff right there. I kind of like our today's equipment. You got that little small recorder and the K2 meter, stuff like that, stuff you can stick in your pocket and hold in your hands. They got quite a bit of stuff right there that they use. Neat. Don't laugh out loud. Imagine if we still use those big VHS tapes, movie camera. Oh God, that would be something else. There's no way in the world you can do a full investigation nowadays and not get tired. Typewriter. Now there's an idea. Yeah. You don't need a book bag. You need one of them big trunks to carry on your back with wheels. But yeah, that's and then the Victorian weird look got a wire. Well, if you was in the summertime, you'd be sweating the monkeys out. Now people just use their cell phones. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, viewfinder. Yeah, I'm a big into Victorian era. I like the Victorians for some reason. I don't know why, but it's really odd. Hey guys, shared y'all out. Appreciate you, Vicky. Thank you a lot. Appreciate you coming in. It ain't gonna be a very long show tonight. I just want to do my journey show. Uh, I got the last minute guest in here. I just thought about and making sure if he can come on, and he said yes. So he will be here in a few minutes. He's got a few things he's got to do. I like chemical stuff from back then. Oh yeah, I do too. I like look at a lot of their uh, medical equipment and stuff like that. Some of that stuff will just scare the daylights out of you. Especially when they like all the catheters and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's like rubber tubes. Back then, we wasn't but solid metals and metal hoses and stuff like that. That make your babies born naked. Not to be all ghost Patrick Swayze, but has anyone ever used a typewriter or laptop to see if a spirit would type a type to communicate? No, I hadn't really tried that. That's a very interesting idea, though. That would be a good experiment. Just a thought. Hey, everything's possible. You never know what can go on and what happens. You never know. Hey, Lord. I'm already done tired. Ain't done nothing. I about slept all day. My buddy Baker came over today to work on his tree stand and stuff, and everything. That's not bad. I beat you to it, Vicky. It's a good day. Oh yeah, it's been one of those days just to lay around. I did make a big pot of chili beans a while ago. I'm on the ball. Hey, Bud Files, how you doing? How are you? Yeah, I'm just being wore out from last night. I was gonna go over to my dad's house, and I never did make it. I stayed in bed pretty much, like I said, about all day. I just got up probably about 2 hours ago, 2 and 3 hours, something like that, and made a big pot of chili beans and everything. Lance is done. He gone live now, so he's probably doing his gaming. If y'all are interested in gaming, uh, J&J Breaks. He's also one of my good friends. I've never done it, but if I had gotten an old newspaper office, but couldn't, I was going to. Yeah. Is there any ideas that y'all can come up with next time we go out to the bridge or to the clinic or something there? If y'all have any ideas of different ways to try to communicate with the spirits while we're there or something, just let us know. I didn't do my pendulum board because I still ain't found my pendulum yet. I believe it's in my bag, but I just hadn't looked down in the bottom of the bag that good yet. It was dark last night, and I didn't want to fool with it trying to find it. All says subscribe to you. Vika says, "Hey, bud," but we and I don't know if y'all like to use any of these things, types of boards. But I did take the liberty to find a few pictures if it ever pops up. There we go. This is one of the first boards way it looked. It did have a few varieties back in the day, but this here is more common in the early or mid 1800s or so. And here's several other new boards that came out back in the day. The most common one is the one right there in the middle. There's the most common one. That's one like we had when we was growing up that my aunt had got us. And now they're doing a lot of crazy things with it. They are painting them up and all that stuff. And here's another style, a little bit more fancy and technique. And there's homemade ones now. People making their own and stuff like that. I don't know if it still has the same uh, aspects of it as the older ones does. If you make your own, I don't have the foggiest idea about that. But let's see who all came in here. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Hello from bed, sleep time, left with thumb. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in. Borrowed it. I sent it back to you, John. So that's where it went. Toys seem to be good, like Jack Goodwill's for kids' toys that makes noises. Yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought about that. Ben Lurkin, have you tried putting powder to see if they will leave footprints or handprints? I have some, but I had never tried it yet. Places we go, they don't want to put it in the floor or anywhere like that, especially at the clinic, because then I have to get it up. I'm too lazy. Crafter, appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us. My computer will work a little faster. We'll be all right. Uh, that homemade one is cool. Yeah, I like that one. I just wonder if it's actually uh, does the same trick as the ones you buy that's more, for that. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that. I draw the line with those. Yeah, I'm not really too fond of them, to be honest with you. I don't use them. I don't like to have them. I just think it's very interesting when some people does try it and use it. It's their responsibility, not mine. I don't really make content camera shy. Neither until I started in this paranormal group and go live for my first time on camera. And I don't want to quit. I forgot who. watched a video before someone making his own board, and he added lights to it for the letters and numbers to light up. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's very interesting. Maybe a speaker and say toys. Yep. I'm going to try to do a lot of different techniques to stuff. I ain't going to go out and just buy a special board. The only board I got is this right here, this pendulum board. It's about the same thing, but it probably is the same thing, but that just helped me spell out whatever needs or anything like that. It ain't asking for them to come and join us and things like that. If you use a spirit board, be sure to cleanse it, cleanse the board before and after. Yeah, I don't normally try to do that. Hey, Persolo. Hey, John Sean, Craft this, and whoever I missed. You couldn't record anything. People take walks and they don't show themselves on camera or do crafts. Hey, PW, how you doing? I do have a guest. I sent him the link earlier, so he'll be coming on here in a few minutes. Just it's taking him a little bit to get ready because I gave him a very last short notice, about 10 minutes before I got started. But like I said, he'll be here in a few minutes. Work out the brand for PW. Shalom. I'm going to try to. I don't know what he said. Camera to go down with the barrel might be next payday, but I will get us one. Okay. Yeah, we had, like I said though, last night we had a pretty decent time. I wished I just spent a little more time on focusing on the investigation when the gremlin first went off. I wished I caught where it actually knocked a little cat toy off the bridge. I didn't go back and watch the video yet, so I didn't know if I know I didn't get it, but you can actually hear it, and you can hear the cat toy on the ground, and it kind of made me aggravated. I should have just walked down there at the end of the bridge and left the camera sitting there on the gremlin and my dad. Oh, good. I just got home from work. I have faith in them. Oh, yeah, I do too. I've seen something called a spellboard. It was octagon shaped and was real old. It was interesting, and I haven't seen one like it since. Yeah, I just saw one of them on Google a while ago when I was doing my stuff earlier. She said that sound wild. Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't know there's that many different boards out there. The only way I play with a Ouija board is to play be with me. Yeah, I would too. That's one thing that I just don't know about. I don't know a lot about talking board to mess with one. Hey, Andrea, how you doing? Appreciate you. So, life out loud. Word should be used if people don't know what they are doing. Yeah, that's me. I don't know exactly what I will be doing with one, so I wouldn't be using one for myself. I used one time. It was first and last time too. Yeah, we used one when I was little, but then my cousin them told us a story that they used one when we was all little, and they said it shook the whole house, and then the front screen door opened up on the house, and as the house was shaking, the knife had uh, levitated up in the air, and it shot straight outside and stuck in the porch post. And they said it scared the daylights out of all of them. They won't even mess with one now. Yes, they are all kinds of boards out there. Salem, Massachusetts has the best board building in local park. Oh, cool. Yes, there are hundreds of thousands of them these days. There's solo coffee time. It's always coffee time for me. So I'm afraid. Oh, wrong one. So I'm afraid to even ask Vicky about that. Well, can you in a free coffee time? uh, you're more than welcome, PW. Hey, how you doing? Lemon's Closet. That's an awesome channel too. I watch her when I'm not halfway asleep. She's got a great channel. I really like to watch her. Amazing person. Interesting. But let's see. There's a reason I mentioned the importance of cleansing the board before and after I meant spiritually speaking, with which should prevent negativity energy from contacting you. Oh yeah. What was it? All y'all gotta do is type cops in the chat and it will drop your link. COPS. That's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta do nothing special, funny about it. Just type in COPS and it will drop your link whenever you want to. Long as it is family friendly. I'm going to start carrying a full of fresh coffee beans on ghost hunts. That's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Y'all want? All right, Nightbot, you need to get yourself on the ball. There's two cops done typed in. Friendly, friendly. You are. You are. Very you are. Hey, David. I wasn't even paying attention, but sorry. Hey, type in cops again, y'all. Let Nightbot, he must be asleep or he's getting him a cup of coffee or something. If y'all don't mind. Da, 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 da. I do have the trophies in for the cemetery scavenger hunt. If anybody still wants to do it, got a few more days left until it ends on the 25th, and then it will. I will do the drawing on my birthday on the 28th, and then the 29th I will reveal the winner on the show that night on the 29th. I don't know why he's so slow for. He must be sleeping. I've been so sick this week and feel like there's something negative energy my way. If you like to send me some positive vibes, I could sure use them, and very grateful and humble for them. Oh, no problem. You always have my good vibes, and I'd always pray for you too. Yeah, I do hope you get to feeling better. I felt a little rough this morning. I laid down, and when I woke up, I had a massive headache, but I fixed something to eat and I ate. Now I feel halfway decent good. I'm just checking my phone, see if I got emails. Love, lights, and prayers your way. So I'm sick today and yesterday, but I still went to work like an idiot. I hope you get feeling better too. Thank you so much, and God bless you for those. Oh yeah, anybody that's sick out there, I appreciate you for coming in, taking the time. I know you feel bad, but I will be praying for each and every one of you to get feeling better. At night before you go to sleep, tell yourself you are feeling well, you are healthy, and feel the feeling of being well. Hey, David, how are you, buddy? Even if you don't believe it, but at some point, try to. My computer is so slow, y'all. I don't know why it won't do that. PW, oh, having to go to work sick is the worst. Oh yeah, I know what that feeling's like. My kids had the flu. They gave it to me. Can't hurt. Positive. I'd rather be in pain than be sick. I can relate to you. I'm doing good, PW. David, we are glad to see you here. Oh yeah, anytime y'all come in, y'all are more welcome. Some kids. But yeah, we had a great time last night. I hope everybody got to watch the video. Uh, we're thinking about going back again later, probably towards next weekend that I'm off work, maybe Saturday night or whenever. But I'll be leaving for vacation on the 23rd, I think. So I'll be doing a couple things before I had to leave. You, PW, yep, PW, you teach your kids to share. They'll have to teach them to. That's pretty funny. All right, y'all. Here comes the guest. That might make him feel welcome because he is more awesome than awesome can be. So here he is. Hey, buddy.
Hey everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
Sorry, it was a short.
You
Doing
good?
pretty good.
The reason why I'm so late is my computer just apparently it don't like short notice.
Oh, really? Oh, you good?
So
Let's see. Dave said, "I'm so jealous. My friend actually is going to school to get GD, and the school is right across the street from two major cemeteries."
oh man, I couldn't go to school. I'd be in the cemetery.
Yeah, you're right. We got a lot of people saying hey to you, buddy. We got PW, Native Wild Man, Shaw Woman, David, uh, Vicky, everybody. Appreciate you coming
Well, it's
in.
good to see y'all.
Appreciate you so
Let's
much.
see. If y'all see me looking down, it's because I'm reading chat.
So, how did you like the scavenger hunt, bud?
Man, that was so fun. Like it took a lot of work, but it was fun, and I
Yeah,
can't wait for the next one.
yeah. We're going to do it again next year, but it's going to be a little bit more different. It's going to be more well thought out process.
Well, it wasn't too bad thought out. It took us a minute to get all them.
Yeah.
oh me.
So, I know it's a short notice and everything, but this is the Paranormal Journey show, and I just want to see how you got started in the paranormal and the journey it has taken you. If you want to tell a little story.
Well, how we got started in the paranormal? Well, my journey started out in a different place. The church, actually. We experienced the bad side of the paranormal. All the demons and the craziness. Like people bent over backwards and talking weird, like some of the stuff that's in the movies.
Yeah,
It's not a common thing, but that does actually happen. And discovered that there's actually a side to the paranormal.
yeah,
Because my dad was a traveling minister, and of course, all we was ever shown was how evil everything was. And when I got out on my own and decided to look into the paranormal, and I began to notice more and more that there's a lot of bad, but there's a whole lot more good than there is bad. So,
yeah,
and I mean, even when I was in college, there was a cemetery right behind it, and when everybody else would be out partying, I'd be out in the cemetery. I just was drawn to it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and like me and Autumn's been doing the paranormal ever since we've been married. That's 11 years. So,
Yeah. That's he. I've seen a lot of your work, and you do a real good. Y'all do real good investigation jobs and stuff like that. I still got the last two I got to watch of y'all's videos you put up, so I'll be catching up on them soon.
yeah, that's what I was working on while I was trying to get my computer going was a story video. So,
Yeah, yeah.
eh. You know how us Myers get upset. I told Autumn, I said, "Can I just take his thing out there and use it for target practice?"
Hey, you are the same way I do. My wife says, "Yeah, you're different than my family." I said, "Yeah, we expect to work right."
That's right. If I'm gonna pay the money, I want it to do something besides sit there on the shelf.
Yeah, yeah,
So
sure do. Hey Joe, how you doing? Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us.
good to see you. Good to see you.
So, was you in the show in the channel last night when the gremlin went off?
Yep. Oh man, that was awesome. I don't even care if the camera wasn't pointed to it. It was still awesome.
Man, it made me so mad. I went over and just about beat myself to death. I wish I left the camera sitting there because it actually knocked the cat toy plumb off on the ground, and it cut and when it hit the button of the cat toy, and then there to go off. It
Oh,
landed
it
right.
turned it off. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it just banged. And my dad, he couldn't get up off that stool fast enough. He's like, John, come here, look. What?
Yeah.
I was running back across from the bridge and about broke my neck, about fell.
Yeah. That was a
But
good one there. It's a
yeah,
good
there's
play.
something there last night. I don't know what it was. Something kept tapping me on the back, just like, hey, I'm here. And every time I look around, there's nothing there. So,
Yeah.
uh, have you had any exciting paranormal experiences throughout y'all's journey?
I mean, not like I said, I've as a kid living at home at my parents' house, which I'm still convinced that is the most haunted place around here,
Yeah.
like close.
Yeah.
Um, we call Autumn and I as our like one of the best piece of evidence we ever caught, and put on here was there's a like a shelf that my mother's urn's placed on it. Next to it is her clock that she uses. It's one of those little red letter plug up clocks that goes off to get you up, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you could see something walk in front of it real slow. I mean, the room was dark, but on that video, you could see it flash like it had gone off. But whenever you paused it and blew it up, you could actually see a woman in a dress walking around.
No.
And the first paranormal experience I ever had was at that house as well. Me and Dad was out in the yard working, and we kind of caught out of the corner of our eye a little girl about 10 years old in a pink dress walk around the corner. We went all the way around that house and never seen her, never found her.
Yeah.
So
That's
and,
pretty cool there.
oh yeah. And then you know, in the last few months we went to the Octagon Hall, and the videos weren't very impressive, but the personal experiences there was off the chain.
Yeah.
You could feel like cold spots, like air conditioning. You know, it's 100 degrees at nighttime in that house, and there's ice cold air conditioning, and just in a single spot. And then when we went through taking pictures during the daytime, I caught a glimpse of a child peeking around the corner. And I went downstairs and I was like, hey, is there a child here? And they're like, oh, no, we don't allow children after a certain time. So that was cool. Yeah. And they have like a room-to-room security system in there that's going all the time to make sure, you know, when they bring investigators in, they're not taking things, because that does happen.
Yeah.
Well, he said about the time you saw that, he pulled it up, and there was a child. There was a door opened. A child stepped out, the door closed, and then she went on. But there was no child there. And I was just like, oh, man, I wish I could have that. But they're like, no, you can't have that. This is ours. But, oh, it was awesome. So, and also, when we were down in the basement, which, you know, the place was used as a Civil War hospital in 1863. They brought the injured from the Battle of Bowling Green there and operated in the basement of that place. And while I was down there, I was getting flashes of the chaos and craziness going on. As you could just see somebody laying on the table, and they were getting limbs cut off and sewed back on, and the pain, you know, you could just feel it. It's almost like you were standing there.
Yeah.
So, just all sorts of things over the years, you know.
Yeah. Is that the only place y'all ever been to, the Octagon Hall? I mean, big place like that?
Yeah, that was our first one, yeah, and it was an experience too. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll be glad when y'all get to travel up this way so you can go with us one time. I want to take y'all. battleship, man. That'd be cool. Which next year I'm hoping, praying that I can get an event started at the battleship like I did this past time.
Yeah.
Because that it will be a good adventure.
And hello, Andrea. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. And that would be so awesome, Perilous Solo, to collab with him. That'd be great. But
Yeah. My computer ain't working right. It ain't working fast enough to bring up the chat that good on the screen.
yeah, normally my computer would be working, but it ain't. It just said, not today.
Nah.
So I got a phone.
Mine takes spells. Sometimes it'll work, and then sometimes it think it's got a mind of its own.
Yeah. Wow. Shaw Woman said, wait, are cops going to collab with Myers? Absolutely, one day.
Oh, yeah. Sure enough.
I can guarantee it won't be in 2023 because we broke for the year.
You're like I am.
Oh, yeah. I tell you something that's crazy and kind of goes along with, when I'm at work, because I know for a fact there's been at least 5 deaths on property where I work at.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing my job and I'll just have my phone on the spirit talker, playing. And the other day, a certain name came across and something was like, something is wrong. When I got that name, I immediately began to worry and I noted the time. The next day, a person that works there, that was her husband's name. And I asked her, I said, what happened yesterday at this time? She said, that's mighty funny. She said, at that exact same time, she said, she had a blood vessel to bust and was bleeding to death. And her husband's name came across my app. And I'm assuming that it was him panicking. And it's like, hey, you better pray for this guy right now. But she made it fine. The ambulance got there. They got her to stop bleeding. They went in and fixed it. She was back to work the next day. But
good night. Joe, sorry to interrupt you, bud, but Joe,
no,
this is Steven. He's Myers Paranormal. He's a good guy. I don't know exactly. I think Bluegrass got us hooked up at one night.
Yeah.
We was at the Purple Cemetery with the purple lights, and y'all came in. That's how I got to know him. And I think the reason why they got us hooked up because they're Myers Paranormal and I'm a Myers also. So we just kind of clicked and got everything kicked off.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how we all got introduced to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was an amazing night that night. All right, tell the story again now. I just want to tell them that that's how we got started.
Yeah. And something else that's crazy. Now, this right here, it kind of blew my mind. Like, I had to hold on to something today. I don't know what was wrong with this person, but, living down here in the South, people's crazy and they do stuff all the time. This person came into my store and something was wrong with him and he drank bleach.
Oh.
And somebody saw him doing it and they're like, oh my God, something's wrong, Well, he didn't make it out of the store till he collapsed. And somebody else told me later that he passed away from that. And said ever since then, said boxes was flying off the shelf today and all kind of stuff. So I'm just sitting here like, man, that's weird. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
So you don't ever know. Somebody he could have passed and just decided to stay at Walmart and wreak all havoc. I don't know. I
Are
have
you
no explanation.
are you going to stay at Walmart when you go?
I picture that. I tell you what, when people die and go to hell, I think Walmart's it.
That's pretty funny, man.
Oh Lord.
They say you see everything at Walmart, anything and everything. I bet you have seen crazy stuff, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Not
mean,
just paranormals, neither.
yeah, just craziness. But
Yeah, Shawan said I did a live from a Walmart parking lot.
that's close enough that you want to get, that's for sure. Oh, I try not to go on my off days in there if I don't have to, but sometimes you got to, you know. Wow, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then I do a story about a haunted Walmart.
Yes, you did.
And didn't you do one about it too? No, you didn't. I heard somebody else do a story about it.
There's an abandoned one that is. I'm pretty sure I've heard of that.
There's one that ain't too far in between us, somewhere in I can't remember what. It's in the southern state, but I can't remember exactly where it was located. But it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, you know, just a simple story like that. I mean, any place you could be out in the middle of the woods and find something, you know.
I know when my brother worked at the one up here back in the day, early 2000s. Right, I think he was working there when he graduated from high school, and he was the guy that out there pushing the buggies in every night and stuff like that. And he said one night they had somebody was robbing the place or something, and the manager told him to chase after the guy that after he leaves the store. And that dude actually turned around and shot at him. My brother said, "All right, that's it. They can have whatever they wanted." He said he wasn't going to go get it.
No, it's not worth that. It's not worth it. No, I'd be like, here you go, going out the door. We'll see you later.
You want a bag with that?
You need help carrying
it? Yeah, it ain't worth getting shot over, that's for sure.
No, and you know it's sad that the world's come to that. You know, it really is. But
yeah. Andrew said, "Yes, there are some crazy people in Louisiana. I used to live in New Orleans."
Yeah.
Dave said we go to Walmart a
lot. I'm sorry. Oh me. Uh-oh, PW felt a little bit dizzy. That's not good. At least you're back though.
Yeah. And she said she's been feeling a little under the weather the past few days.
Yeah, this hot to cold stuff, you know, 90 degrees in the daytime and 30 at night, that'll make you sick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gotten cold here, so I still keep my air conditioning on, and I wake up in the mornings, I mean, it's like icicles hanging in the house everywhere.
Yeah, but you don't burn up though.
No, I ain't burning up. I can't take hot weather. I can cold weather, not hot weather. Do you ever take your daughter on any investigations?
I mean, she's at every investigation we go to, but yeah. I think I've only ever like included her in one because you know children. I'm iffy about it, because they don't know how to protect themselves against things, but
Yeah.
I did include her in one just back a few weeks ago when we were in the park investigating. Autumn was doing her Paragames challenge in the woods, and we was sitting at the table, and I asked a question. I don't know if it's like the Estes method, but a version of it where we're across the park asking questions, and she's getting answers, or she's asking questions and we're getting answers. So,
Yeah.
but most of the time, no, yeah, she's there, but she's either in the car or sitting up against a tree on her tablet playing a game or something. But she don't participate. I try not to let her.
Yeah.
Unless we're just exploring a cemetery, then I'll let her. Hey, whatever. But
Yeah. Is she gonna be a paranormal investigator when she grows up?
I have no idea. I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't think she does either. But
Yeah.
she's probably one of them. Is like, oh my God, not another cemetery. Oh me. But she enjoyed the scavenger hunt.
Oh,
She
really?
had it took all three of us to get that. The one we went into, the Baker and the Cox name, was hard to find.
Yeah.
And there was no Myers. I couldn't believe it. I've never found one that don't. There wasn't one there.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
And there's actually graves in that particular cemetery from before the cemetery was founded.
Oh.
Because they actually had dug up a few and moved them there when they founded it, because they just had like people here and there and all over, and they wanted them in one place, so they exhumed them and brought them there.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought about different things, and the last thing that you had to find was going to be the Myers. It's probably the next year's last thing you have to find is the Myers.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't know how it was going to do, far as the older stones has the like the shaking hands and
Yeah,
pointing up and all that stuff, pointing down and whatever. Only cemetery I found that in is the one that we do up there in town, one with the mausoleum that we can walk into and stuff like
yeah.
that. There's is a several old ones in there on the upper end. Now on the lower end, it's where all the new ones, and then the flat stones on the ground. They don't have tall stones; just the flat ones they put in there then. But like last night, let's see. Vicky said kids are open and easier to target.
Yeah.
I don't allow them to investigate with us. You're right. I really don't, not unless their parents there and they know what kind of things they getting themselves into. And
yeah. I don't do that either. I mean, the one time it was at a place where I absolutely knew without a doubt there was no evil. There was only 2 graves there anyway. So, yeah, it would have to be special circumstance before I ever let her do that.
To start investigation, spirits usually target kids because they are very open. Humans begin being, and they're or high. Oh yeah, you're exactly right. Exactly right. So, something else I was going to ask you. Oh, what is your favorite piece of equipment that you just grab before you even think about it, just grab and start investigating?
I know for everybody else, it's always something different. For me, it's my phone. I absolutely love Spirit Talker. That is my favorite. I know it's not like a piece of equipment like a K2 or something, but I love my Spirit Talker. It is beyond accurate.
Yeah. I found a problem with the K2. Uh,
Yeah.
Mine, I did read an article on it that says it's about 2.5 feet away before it won't pick up. But I was 4.5 foot the other day, and it was still picking up the phone.
Oh yeah.
And we
You,
was outside, so I mean,
this particular phone right here, it's usually one that, because the one I'm on now is one I record with, and I use the Spirit Talker on this one. This one will set the K2 meter off every time, no
yeah,
matter if the airplane mode's on or not.
yeah,
So we always know, you take this over here and I'll be over here, whatever. To but if we get a spike on there, we try to, make sure, hey, was this around, before we said, oh yeah, that's a definite. But
yeah. I haven't used Spirit Talker, but I have used the Ghost Tube app with the Ghost Box on it, and we have pretty good crazy stuff come across there. And I just now paid for the app itself, so I can record a video on there as it's working, and then I can put it up on the screen, make a video out of it.
I use the Ghost Tube. I use the SLS on it. I like the SLS, but I didn't like the app where it pulled the voices up, because sometimes it would be so random, and you just
Yeah.
like, really.
Uh,
And
they're- they've got two of them, two other apps like that. The first one they come out with, I'm not too fond of. The second one, I like it. The Ghost
it may
Box.
be the first one I had then.
Yeah.
And the SLS, the only thing I don't like about it is it always picks up on headstones.
Yeah,
I
it sure
never
does.
understand that, but
Sure.
we were in a church recently, which this investigation's not even up yet, but it's called the Sarah Howard Memorial Baptist Church, I think it is. But the back half of the
Yeah.
church is actually a huge boulder.
Hmm.
And the man built the church as a replica when his wife died. It's a replica of some Italian church, I think.
Yeah.
And well, when he was died, they placed his ashes inside the church near the stone, and I think she's there somewhere. And we set up the SLS camera on the tripod, left it alone, stayed away from it. We were in there for half hour, an hour, and it only bleeped 3 times, but it's always in the same spot.
Yeah.
So I just cut those three bleeps out and included it in the video. But so I thought, that's kind of neat. And even at a cemetery, we used it at same way. We set it up on tripod, stayed away from it, wasn't moving it. And every once in a while it'd bleep on a specific headstone, but it wouldn't stay on there the whole time. So that makes you wonder, is it actually picking up something on that stone, or
Yeah.
who knows?
This one here is one I was telling you about. That Ghost Box.
Oh yeah, I've never seen that.
That's the latest one that they came out with. That's one I used, and it's actually better than the first one.
Yeah. And I guess the reason why we use the Spirit Talker so much is that we're really good with friends with the creator of it.
Yeah.
So he explained everything that goes into it, how it works, and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, that's just crazy. He actually worked for NASA at one point.
Yeah.
So, he knows the technology. I'm just like, man, it's crazy. So, and I mean, we proved time and time again the accuracy of it. I mean, everybody was getting that name Alice, Well, at the time it said Alice on mine. I turned around and looked, and my feet was almost on top of an Alice.
Yeah.
So, you never know.
Yeah, we got to get her out there in the paranormal investigating world. She's told me the other night she's going to come down to North Carolina and walk with me on that spooky road with
Oh
nothing but
yeah,
a flashlight.
yeah.
And
I'd like to go without any light, just
yeah,
dark.
me too. Me too.
You get Gizmo to go off, and I bet you'd run, wouldn't you? Oh no!
She said nope.
Ghost Tube Vox. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, it's this one right here what I use. Ghost Box. And Spirit Talker, I hadn't even seen the symbol for Spirit Talker. Have you got it?
Let
I
me.
did, I tried to look for it the other night on my app.
Let's see, that one, Spirit Talker, and then he also made this one called the Spirit Music Box, and it's like a version of the Spirit Talker, but it only does music.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the SLS. I keep them together, so I just have one spot for all that.
Yeah, that's the way I do mine too. But I will use the one that I've got first. It's called the Ghost Hunting Tools.
Yeah.
I'll just use it just to play around over at work, scare the daylights out of my friends because they act like it's cool, but when it says something there and they like, oh my God. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
put a whole lot of faith in it. But it did come true one night. It sure did. Well, it was at the Saint Asylum. If my cousin Shasta was on, she would tell you the story about the whole deal. And it was crazy. I mean, it was that night I actually thought, now this is really cool. I was actually told on somebody.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that when she was telling us about that.
Yeah, it told on, and he didn't like it too good. It tore him up. Tore him up. And it's pretty bad the spirits knows what you're doing behind
Hmm.
closed doors.
Yeah. Especially while you're investigating. Like,
Yeah.
geez.
I mean, it's crazy, and plus it's just weird. I do EVP session at work. My coworkers gets freaked out.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's freaked out when I play with my
Oh,
tarot
tarot
cards.
cards. Yeah. I've had people unsubscribe to my channel because I've shared somebody out that does that. I was like,
I
really?
really,
I was just like, now come on. I was just doing my part.
yeah.
But they didn't like it, so they unsubscribed. I'm just like, really?
You got that means they really wasn't into the thing. I just want to try to get you viewers. That's all it is.
Yeah, basically. So
If they
I was like, all
unsubscribe to
right.
me, that's it. Yeah. I've go into people's channels and chats and chat with them, not even in the paranormal community, just in every other thing, crafting community. But there's
Mm-hmm.
one channel I cannot crack to save my life. I try my best to be nice, say hey everybody, and that's all I say. Then when they ask a question, what do y'all think about this? I put my 2 cents in it. Nobody even acknowledged me or nothing. Don't even welcome me in or whatever. And I said,
Yeah,
okay,
that's how they are.
but I mean that's all right. I got good friends. I got good communities I'm in. I got awesome stuff. Dave said he has 17 apps on my business phone and 9 apps on my tablet. Cool.
Yep.
That is very interesting. I've only got 3 apps on mine. Well, 4 counting that ghost hunting tools, but I do have all 3 of the Ghost Tube apps, the SLS and Ghost Tube, the first one to come out with the voices, and Ghost Fox.
Carol's Creative Corner. Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, she's doing a little bit of paranormal investigations. She she's very cool and awesome, and it makes you laugh when you go in her channel. I mean, it's nothing. She gets a big way of talking. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't strike me for that one."
Oh, PW did a post earlier that had some Black Sabbath in it. I'm like, who's rocking out to Black Sabbath, man? Oh, me.
Yeah. Oh, Lordy have mercy. I am so tired. Today was just one of those days.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody go check out Carol's channel too. She's very interesting to watch. She has some good guests on her show. I didn't get to watch her show today much. That was having technical difficulties, and I fell asleep while they was trying to figure it out. And I don't remember if I watched any of it or not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not staying in there.
I hate technical difficulties. I had them this afternoon.
Is what the ghost and I like.
Yeah. Like, you can't beat it. It's still hard to believe that that's Ozzy Osbourne. Like, what?
I watch his. Hey, have you watched their show on Discovery Plus?
Mm-mm.
Um, where him and his wife sits down with Jack Osborne and they do ghost things if it's real or not, and they have to say if they think it's real or not real and all that stuff. That's a pretty good show to watch.
I bet it is. It sounds like it.
And also, him and his sister is doing a paranormal investigation thing too. It's pretty interesting.
That's cool. But I never thought that you'd see them doing that.
Yeah, they and then he teamed up with the Ghost Brothers, which one of these days I'm going to be teaming up with them. One of these days, I hope and pray before I kick the bucket myself. But I want to meet the Ghost Brothers. I can't wait to talk to them.
I don't even know who they are.
It's the three black guys that make you laugh, giggle, whatever else. They do good. They got some good stuff coming out. My cousin met them in person, but you have to check them out. They are on YouTube and they are on Discovery Plus too. And I think the one they called Dalen, I think he has his own YouTube show now. And he does the graveyard shift. He does a lot of cemeteries.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he used the Spirit Talker app. I'm not really for sure, but I believe he does.
Well, the Ghost Brothers does a lot of solo investigations. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, they watch it whenever, but he always comes on when I'm at work and I can't catch it. And when so I don't hardly catch them live. Shaw one said those guys crack me up. Well, wrong one. This is it. Those guys crack me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when he pops open the trunk.
Huh.
Pops
Never
the
heard of that.
on these ghosts. Yeah, I love that. That's a very, very cool show.
Why is Stephen
Being replaced.
Um, I mean, as far as collaborate with any big names, I don't really know. The ones I've been meeting with and stuff lately, I've been enjoying. I think that like the Taps team, that would be like a holy crap moment. Maybe I would like to go with Omar a little bit too. I think he'd do pretty good.
Yeah. I like Ghost Brothers, and I'd like to go do something with Taps because they're right here on the East Coast, and those what gave me the expired inspired me to do the paranormal to start with.
I think they've inspired everybody, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh me.
See, they did the one that here in North Carolina, Fort Macon, and that's one that I'm going to try to get us into for long after I figure out all their pricing and all this stuff and get everything set up.
Oh, hi Dustin. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. I won't bring it up on the screen, but there we go. Hey man, how you doing? Appreciate y'all coming in. I liked watching their show too. They got a good, interesting shows.
They've been up at Octagon Hall every weekend this in October doing investigations. Man, I'm just like, oh man. If it didn't cost me $700 every time I went, I would go. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. What did you think I can do different about the scavenger hunt for next year? I mean, give us your point of view on it.
I mean, to be honest, it's perfect because it is a challenge to find all them. And the one that I would love to find is the one pointing down. I've never seen one. I've been in many cemeteries, and not one time have I seen that.
Oh, really?
I've seen the pointing up and the clasp hands, but never the pointing down one.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that, but I think I've seen one in the cemetery that we had. And I just wondering if, I mean, if it was be legit around. Well, see, that little cemetery that we're getting ready to do, I was going to do it last night, but my friend George, the guy that was in the video, he was sick and he didn't want to go back out in the night cold like that. He said, "Can you do it when I feel better?" And I said, "Yeah, we'll do it next week sometime." So we are
Yeah.
going to go do that cemetery. It's just, uh, just try to get it done.
Yeah. And one I would like to find is the grave that has the bell on it. You know how rare those are?
Yeah, I was going to put that on there, but I thought, well, no, ain't nobody going to see one of them. And that would be
Right. Those are
hard.
rare. If you ever find that, that's
Yeah.
Dustin has some of those. Well, the bells were gone, but the mounts are there. And when they went back, even the mounts are gone. People stole them.
Yeah. I don't think
So,
I can steal anything from a cemetery. Can you imagine what kind of stuff happens?
yeah, that stuff you got would be having something come with it.
Yeah, and I don't think if you take it back neither, I don't think they'd be too kindly of it neither. I believe they still haunt you for a little while, pay you
Yeah.
back for it.
Yep.
Have you saw it? Let me find it right here. Uh, the cemetery that where we was at actually got a stone. I never would dream to see a stone that's shaped like this here in the U.S. besides over in England. See how it's shaped?
Oh yeah.
I never dreamed to see anything like that here. That's the
Well,
first one
they're
I
here.
saw that's shaped like that.
They're rare, but they're here. I think it's when they came over to America, that style came with them, but it didn't stay very long.
Yeah, and I never dreamed to see anything like that. And
The
it's
tent
a
style is another one that's really hard to find too, but I like those.
yeah, yeah,
And some of the ones here, they have the little triangle in the end of it that actually has the name, dates, and all that on it. Some of them do.
yeah. PW says, uh, yes, don't take anything from that disrespectful because they are left there as offering on their loved ones. Yep. There was one guy that I know that went to a cemetery, and some on most of military graves, you see that people leave change like pennies, quarters, nickels, and dimes, stuff like that. That one dude, he cleaned it off. He took all the change home with him. He said, "I found some money." And I thought, "Yeah, you
Uh-uh.
found something too."
No.
On there for a reason, though.
Yeah.
I don't take. I don't take from graves only a stone if gravel road for. Yeah, you're right. That's the way I do. I don't really take anything pretty much because I don't want. I got enough problems, and I don't want to add to my problems.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. He said, "I leave flowers, money, flags." That's
I do
what
too,
that's what we do.
if possible.
Yeah. But the flowers I'd put on that one silver grave up at that big cemetery. We did a little EVP session there one day, and I asked, I said, "Do you mind if I come back and I'll bring you some flowers?" And I box sensor came blue, and I said, "Okay, I'll take it as a yes." Well, it's been about 2 weeks, and I went back up there with my aunt and my dad, and we took the two bunches of little flowers, put up on the grave. That was back into May, and their rule is you can't have nothing on the ground. It has to be on top of the stone or in a vase or something. And it can only be there a week before the holiday and after the holiday. And it's been up there now for several months, from May
Yeah.
until now. So I was shocked and surprised about that.
And we go to the little junk stores and get those little quarter glass little angels, teddy, we do that too.
Yeah.
But we kind of got out of that a little bit because it got expensive.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean by that. I gotta find some big bundles of flags and stuff, so we're gonna start putting them on military graves here in November. So I gotta buy a
There's
bunch.
a flag company where you can get like 100 for like 20-30 bucks. The little 4x6 flags.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. It was only like 30 bucks, something like that. I can't remember the name. I'd have to go find them.
I did get my trophies in for the scavenger hunt the other day. Little trophies.
Oh, that's cool.
I gotta draw some clothes on them because they're little in the nude. I really appreciate you coming up on here, man. I really enjoy hanging out with you.
Oh yeah, always like coming up. I figured out what's wrong with my computer. It needs updating, so I'm doing that too.
Hey, is there anything you want to tell anybody that's starting out in the paranormal? What, how to start? Like, don't buy expensive stuff. Start cheap. Just
Oh yeah.
anything.
Like you literally don't need anything. If you're just starting out, you want to try it, just use your phone. You can use the photo, just taking pictures. You can just voice recorder. I mean, you can just do that. Of course, there's the apps, and as you advance, just a simple K2 meter. They're not expensive.
Yeah.
The little cat toys, they're kind of expensive, but not really. You can get a whole box of 15 for 20 bucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, just simple things, and always go like to prepare yourself for the worst, though, because you don't want to be caught off guard and thinking, "Oh, this is an amazing place," and the next thing you know, you have something coming home with you,
Yeah.
or harming you in any way. You got to let them know that I'm not about letting you
Yeah.
hurt me. Just
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go to the halftime show. When we come back, I will. I got a few more questions for you, and then we'll close her out. Okay.
all righty.
Let's see what if I can find my video here. I know. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. Let's see. I'm gonna play two videos right quick.
Behind it.
Okay, you can touch every one of these little toys out here now, please. Already got. Actually, it done got back up 36 degrees. It was 34.
I felt warmer a while ago.
I hear something like something clicking.
I've heard that. And I was sitting right down there.
Will you please reach up here and touch that little gremlin for me? All you gotta do is hit him on the head, and he will go off. Just he'll make a funny noise, but he will not hurt you. If you want, you can cut that little cat toy on. Don't be rattling them keys, man.
I ain't rattling nothing. I got my hands right there top of the pants to keep my fingers warm. I ain't rattling nothing.
Okay, thank you. No way. No freaking way. No way.
I told you there's something right there, John, and you don't believe me.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. You are the first one that we got to do that. That's all you got to do is touch it. Will you do it again for me, please? Yep. That was a crazy night. That was very interesting. Let's see. We still got a few people in the chat. Appreciate everybody still hanging out with us. PW said, "Make that shirt no freaking way," like Vicky said.
Yeah.
I got.
Oh, that's cool. Dustin got a gizmo too. That's what I'm talking about.
Or I created Super Grizz. Yeah, I'm telling you what, the Gizmo little deal, it took off. I didn't expect it will, get like that, but I'm kind of glad that a lot of people trying to use the Gizmo. I mean, I thought about it that day when we was walking down Walmart shopping center there, and every time somebody had left it on, and every time we hit a little line in the floor, it would go off, and everybody just looked at us like we was craziest things there is. But it did take us some time to get it to work, and finally it actually went off. Now we got to go off twice. We had it, and it's at the same place too, so that is great.
Yeah. And I took it there, took him there to Octagon Hall to let them use it. So I guess they decided they liked it too. So
Yeah, Vika says they got them a gizmo.
and they're cheap. Like they're not that expensive at all.
Did an investigation at the jail. They used a small flashlight and it went on and off upon request. Oh yeah, we've used a flashlight and a dowsing rods at the same time because we proved that they proved that I didn't move the dowsing rods. Every time the dowsing rods move, the light come on, and when the light goes off, the dowsing rods move back. So I didn't. So they know that I didn't physically move the dowsing rods.
I don't think it was quite that expensive. I think I paid like $17 for my gizmo.
Oh really? But
Yeah, it wasn't $29.
We paid like $29 for ours, but we have the high tax rate in North Carolina, so that's why.
Yeah.
We're the one of the states that has the highest pay tax rates. Let's see. It says
Super easy. That's awesome.
with 100 seasons worth of parts. So I call him Super Grease. And will be done in a few months when I get all my parts. Oh, that's cool. Mine's got to have surgery because he fell off the bridge one night and broke his neck, and now he don't go like this no more. He just like.
Yeah. Well, I hate to say this, but I like it better that way.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get him to balance on top of a headstone, and then when he starts moving, he falls. So
yeah,
I like the sound he makes.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that little green doll I got, he'll lean up on his tiptoes and come back. And we set him on a thin headstone one day, and when you lean up on his tiptoes and he went back like that, he just went off his back, and I mean he banged that ground hard as he can go.
And something that I found to go with my cat toy, this.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
It's just one of these little vitamin bottle lids, because you can take that and set it anywhere, and it'll set flat, and then that toy it'll go in it, and it won't roll off.
Okay, I'll have to do that. I didn't think about that.
So I threw one, and it's thin, so it just fits right in the box with them too. So
well, cool. I had to think about that. I hadn't done that. I was having trouble the other night at that last cemetery. I couldn't keep the cat toys laying still, especially on them round headstones.
Oh yeah, Dustin says he uses a roll of electrical tape, but the little plastic caps, you can go to the Dollar Tree and get a bottle of vitamins and chuck them in the garbage. And the little cap is plastic and it's thin, it's compact. Hey.
Yeah.
But we were on an investigation using dowsing rods on a live stream, and whatever it was there did not like it. It took them apart.
Oh, really?
Like they came into like pieces. Like it fell apart in Autumn's hand. I'm just sitting here like, is this happening?
Good grief.
So we found all the pieces but one. And the way it was just like a little copper wire like this. And it had two little round balls, and it had like a little copper sleeve that it set down in.
Yeah.
And one of the little balls had come undone, so I just undid the other one and put it all back together with Loctite. And if they get that apart, they can have them.
That's funny. Prevent false positives from static. Oh, okay. See, I'm learning a lot of good techniques right here. A lot of different things that I can use and things. I didn't know you can use anything. I hadn't even thought about a piece of plastic, the plastic lid or nothing like that.
Yeah. I mean, even a Coca-Cola like 2-liter bottle lid, that'd be
Yeah.
But I use that lid there because it's big enough where the ball can move around inside of it, where if they touch it, it'll move, not just, sit there. So,
Yeah. That's very interesting there. Let's see. What was the question I was going to ask you when I got back? Oh, that was one of them about anything you want to tell any new investigators. Wrap it. He said wrap that bottle cap with electrical tape.
yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Yep.
Or just use a roll of electrical tape, but,
Let's see. Vicky says I made mine. I flushed them after
Oh,
my.
okay, like a water witch, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody in the chat got any questions for Stephen? And I will take a few questions for him. Then we will get done and get out of here so he can get in bed. Probably got to go to work here in a little while.
No, I'm actually off tomorrow.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. You
So
don't
I was
want,
off today and tomorrow, so.
you didn't want to volunteer to go in tomorrow?
I hadn't talked myself into that.
Oh, Lordy.
I wanted to ask you a question, though. Do y'all have any, like, local legends or stories, like witches or anything, or folklore, any of that in that area?
Uh, well, I don't know how big it is, like Google or nothing like that, but where my dad grew up, there used to be a Black Panther running around, so I don't know. But as far as like something like a Mothman type deal, not as I know of, or anybody had never told me anything.
Oh, yeah, Lord have mercy. What is the coolest ghost experience you have ever had? Um, it has to be that one that I told earlier about. We were sitting in my dad's house asking questions, and on the video, well, no, let me take that back. Uh, the most profound one is the day my mother died. That one right there is one special moment that I will never forget. Uh, she went to the hospital with like pain in her abdomen that like she was having a baby, and obviously she wasn't having no kids. But it come to find out, she had pancreatitis, and it was worse than they thought.
Oh,
They'd sent her to the big city hospital for surgery, but she didn't make it to surgery. She passed away. But I drove up there because my dad's like, I really need you to come down here. He said it's worse than we thought. Well, I seen her on the ventilator, and that tore me half in two, seeing her like that.
yeah, yeah.
I couldn't go back in there, and I never did go back in there after that. But with me and my wife and my kid was sitting outside because I needed, I needed to clear my head, just sit outside, just take in what I had just seen, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's probably like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I felt it was just us three out there, and I felt like somebody was sitting next to me and kissed me on the cheek, and I saw the pink dress, and I was like, what is that? When I looked back down the street in the middle of wintertime, this ray of sun come down on the street, and I swear I seen my mom and my grandmother walking hand in hand up a set of stairs, and she turned around and blew a kiss at me, and I knew right then that she passed. And I went upstairs and seen everybody crying. But I actually got to see her go up them golden stairs, man.
And that is awesome.
Man, that ain't something that you get to experience a lot. That's for sure.
You got another one right here. Check this one out. Said I already know about Myers Laugh Out Loud and his motel ghost girlfriend Laugh Out Loud.
Have you heard this one?
No.
Oh boy, you people are in for a treat. We kind of got into a thing to where some of the motels we were staying in were kind of sketchy like. So we decided, you know what, heck, let's investigate. Well, while investigating, I got the night, like it started saying like flirtatious things, you know, like cute and kiss and hug and love. And then I got the name, my name is Ralph, right? Well, when Autumn takes out the SLS camera, there is something right here trying to kiss me. And I'm just like, oh my God. And ever since then, everybody's like, oh, is Ralph around? So I'm just like, yeah, thanks.
Vinky's got a question for you. Says, has Steven ever investigated a location that he won't go back to?
Not yet. Not yet. Not that I can think of. I mean, there's some places that has some real activity, but I mean, not scared, you know. Let's go back.
Yeah.
So,
he says sorry to hear that, but I think it was about your mom.
yeah, it was. I appreciate it.
Carol says she's going head out. She's this old lady to turn into pumpkin.
Wow, thank you, Carol. We appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us. I tried with everyone at Octagon too.
Yeah, it didn't work because they was all jealous, you know. So no, Dustin is one I want. Oh me. Yeah.
Seemed like y'all had some good time at the Octagon Hall.
Man, I'm telling you, and that whole week or 3 days we was there was coincidence after coincidence after coincidence that had to do with that hall. No. I mean, the day before the hall, Autumn and I need, you know, we get there a day early so we can explore all the cemeteries, the hidden ones, and all that stuff. And that the day before, it just kept, I put in an address and it would take us somewhere else. And it was just strange. Well, the day of the investigation, I had put in to go to a jail there in Franklin. It was the old stone jail. Well, for some reason, it took us to Bowling Green. And I'm just like, man, this is crazy. And, of course, that's where we found the aviation park, a few cemeteries. And then we found this one, old church. I mean, it was old, like early 1800s old.
Yeah.
And it took us there, and we filmed around it, and I found a ton of Myers there. We found a lot of unidentified Confederate soldiers there, just all kind of neat stuff.
Cool.
And while we were investigating at the hall with Zeke, the paranormal pastor, it said church. You know, Autumn and I never said anything to anyone about what we had done for a reason. And it said church. Well, I said, Autumn, it has to be that church. So as we were on break, we went downstairs and we talked to Bear. And I said, you know, Bear, I said, the church over at this specific cemetery, does that have any meaning? And his eyes got like huge. He said, right next to that church I said, yes, sir. He said, did you see the name Caldwell? I said, yes, sir. And he said, that was the owner and builder of the Octagon Hall.
Oh, shoot.
It took us to their graves.
Oh, that's crazy.
Him and his last graves.
That's wild right there. That is very wild.
And I was just like, oh my God. Like insane stuff. The whole trip was something to do with the Octagon Hall.
Yeah.
And right out in front of our hotel was actually a place where a plane crashed in 1982 after it had reported seeing a UFO and was in pursuit. It crash landed.
Mm.
What kind of coincidence is that? Like, I'm just like, what in the world? Like, we just went out and explored and found all sorts of historic markers, and we drive around and see neat murals on the wall and would film them, and there would be something to do with the hall there or some kind of significant history. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So that trip, I think we got 35 videos out of.
Yeah.
And they're all edited and up and ready to go. And we kind of took a break for Scaretober this month because we're uploading investigations.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like there's so much history in the little town of Franklin that it would blow your mind.
Yeah.
And the next thing, which I didn't mention this either, there at Bowling Green, that was the Confederate headquarters during the war. And that's where the battle was fought, that they brought the injured soldiers to the Octagon Hall. So all of that had played into that investigation.
That would be so cool to go to there just for the Civil War history itself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. And that the Octagon Hall, even if you do not investigate, it is an amazing museum that has stuff from one room to the other.
Yeah.
And you cannot beat Bear. He's such a kind person, and just great person, and the museum's amazing. They have cannons there. Like, there's a banjo upstairs that if I could get it, I want it. It's an old one. It's from 1800s.
Yeah.
It's the old mountain style open back.
Yeah. How many people was there on the investigation when y'all went?
There was a total of 17 plus I think the curator, which is Bear, and there was like 20, 21 people.
Yeah.
But we broke up into groups. Bear and his people, they stayed outside and just stayed back. And Dustin and Zeke and let's see, Vicky, they broke it up where we were downstairs in the basement and upstairs on the third floor, well, second floor, I guess. Zeke had them, and then Vicky had a group outside where they had the slave cemetery and the barn.
Okay.
So, but luckily it was just me, Autumn, and another couple in our little group. So we didn't have a whole bunch of people to bump into or anything.
Yeah.
And then they let us, after everybody was said and done and left, we got to investigate by ourselves, just us and all, me and Autumn. So
yeah,
that was cool.
So day tours are like $10 and group of fives.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. That was very, very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. The daytime tour is just like you walk through and there's all sorts of history out there. And
yeah,
like I said, there's a slave cemetery. There's a couple of soldiers buried on site, but there's thousands unidentified out in the fields around there.
Yeah.
And they show you all these little hidey holes, and because it was part of the Underground Railroad, so there's like secret staircases, and there's passageways. And a neat moment that we experienced down in the basement is there's something that looks like a cabinet. When you open it up, it's a secret passageway that goes out to the barn.
Yeah.
And it's motion activated light inside of it, and it was closed. Well, all of a sudden it came on by itself.
Yeah.
So something was in those tunnels.
You said the group of 5 for the event Myers was at.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to be going back to the battleship, and also we're going to try and do Fort Macon. Probably not in the same year, but we're going to hold a big event like that, and we're going to try to get groups of 5 go on each deck of the ship and everything like that. Start on top deck and go all the way down to the bottom, and we get to run of the whole ship. The only thing we won't get to access to is the area where the torpedo hit. That has to cost extra, but you still get the same amount of stuff. And if Matt was in here right now, he would tell you that this one guy was scared to daylight cellar because he can move over that ship and never made a sound in the dark with no flashlight.
Yeah, because he probably knew it like the back of his hand.
Yeah, he comes up. We caught a picture. Well, one of the guys with us had a picture. He took one guy. The guy was standing behind my dad, and he took 2 of them. And that boy said, "Oh God, I caught a ghost right behind your dad, man." I said, "Really?" He showed me the picture, and I busted out laughing. Now this day, he don't know what to think. I showed him the picture like that, and he said, "Oh, go shut up, go leave me alone." He told him about it because he thought he saw a ghost, and never did.
Did y'all ever catch anything like an actual spirit or have any experiences there?
Oh yeah, we had some crazy stuff happen. Matt, he had some you can see actually foot shadows on the ground when he was walking, and you can see in his video that he put up. I'm gonna try to get him back on here one night and have him to talk about it and show it if he still got the footage. And
I like to get inside the Queen Mary, but man, it's awfully expensive.
Oh yeah, I've looked into that too.
It's high dollar.
Yeah. We're actually going to try to get into another battleship. There's 2 more that I'm looking at right now, and I hadn't heard back from none of them. The only one I've heard from is the North Carolina battleship down at Wilmington, which I've been there twice, and I'm pretty good friends with the lady that does the events and stuff like that. So it takes me about a year to get into that place.
Oh, that's awesome, Dustin. He's got a big year planned next year.
Next year and on the building. That'd be pretty cool. Hey, J&J Breaks, Mr. Lance, I appreciate you coming in, buddy.
Hey there, good to see you.
I am doing pretty good, man. I am interviewing a awesome guest right here for the last minute. I caught him off guard, I guess, when I sent him the message. But yeah, I am going to try to do the battleship and the Fort Macon, and I am going to open it up to other paranormal groups if y'all want to come out. Like I said, it will be around next year, so towards the end of next year, around like November, somewhere like that, where it won't be so hot. On that battleship, it is all that metal surrounding you, man. I mean, you got sweat balls rolling off either side of softballs.
Yeah. I bet it's stuffy. The air probably can't move inside a place like that.
Yeah, it's really crazy. He said, "Have good night, Cops and Myers." Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with me.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Dustin. Now that's a place. If they have something next year, we've got to go back. Autumn said all you could hear when we left was, "Please come back." They want us to come back there.
Yeah.
You can tell when a place
Heck yeah,
wants you and does not want you. And I think that's a place that wants us back bad. And we want to go back so bad we can't stand it.
yeah. That's why I got a couple places I want to go back to. I'm going to head to bed. Peace and long life, my friends. I appreciate you coming in, Sean, man. Thank
See you
you.
later, buddy.
Hey, natives, paranormals. Yeah, like I said, if y'all more interested in coming, whenever I get my events, I will send y'all the message and stuff. And that's not just for anybody. I mean, for like if Vicky and him wants to come, and if PW wants to come, or Shaw wants to come, anybody is more than welcome to come to it. Because I'm planning on doing a big old shindig. It might be like for 2 days worth, Start on Thursday, end on Friday, so I can rest up on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Go back work on my.
I take like 9 to 10 days off on something like that, so that I got time to prepare before and after. And I also I like to come up at least a day or two ahead of time, so that I can fire Google up and find all them hidden cemeteries. I make the most of it. If I'm gonna spend $700 to $1,000 to go somewhere, I want my money's worth.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there is a big, wild, old cemetery next to the battleship. I plan to stop at it every time I go by it, but I'm always in a hurry. I got to get somewhere for like the battleship. I passed it 1,000 times at one time, and I said I'm gonna stop there tomorrow. Never did get that. I guess that more ever got here yet because I never got to stop there. I was coming home the next day. I thought, nah.
Yeah. You get so tired, you're like, man, I don't want to now, but
Yeah. But we get the battleship for 12 solid hours, so it's nonstop. And you'll be going to the same places 3 or 4 times just so you can see if you can get something again after you left the first time.
yeah. I think the Octagon Hall, we went from 6 p.m. to like 3 in the morning. Everybody else had left except for the group leaders and a couple of investigators and me and Autumn. Man, we had a blast after everybody left.
Yeah.
Had music going. I mean, just one of them's kids had played music. Dude, it was great. We had a ball.
Yeah. I bet y'all did. I would love to have been there. I would. That's anything has, like I said, anything has to do with the Civil War is about the best thing for me.
I know it's a touchy subject, but I cannot help but love to the places, like to be able to go there and see where these things happened, and then the feelings that you get while you're there. And
yeah, you're right. And the history of it, that's the big kicker, because you can still learn a lot, even though they're not teaching it in the history books now, but we're living the history when we go to that place,
Yeah.
Because it feels like when you go there, it feels like they are walking beside of you and things like that. Just like when I went to Fort Macon, I can actually feel like somebody was walking beside of me and throw their arm around my neck and just walking, like right there down through there.
Yeah.
And it was hotter than blue blazes, but inside that building, there's no air conditioning, but it was cold as all get out in there.
Yeah.
So, and you can feel the pressure from the prisoners in there.
And myself, the coolest thing that we done recently is when we went into the cave on Hines Road where that witch had harmed the children, and the river or the pond where she hid their bodies. That was absolutely amazing to actually get to experience something you read about.
Yeah.
And the investigation there was insane. The K2 meter would answer questions. The cat toy would answer questions. The flashlight, and you could see when you were inside there, it was like ice. And in the doorway, you could see a clear fog, and all of a sudden it would come toward you and then it would go back.
Yeah.
or the whole place would be just full of fog, and then when you feel like something not so good's coming, you mention the name of Jesus, it just clears in an instant.
Yeah.
Like, man, talk about crazy.
That's about like what Vicky had posted on Facebook the other day about these children in the water. They called water children.
Mm-hmm.
Now she got me to want to go swimming.
And there's a cemetery, which I would love to find it, but I don't have a boat that would make it. But there's a cemetery under the water not too far from here where they're there. Like, you can look and see headstones.
Yeah.
And when it's dry like it is this year, you can probably actually walk out there to it.
Yeah.
But like a full graveyard full of stones.
My buddy Michael that's in the group, he when he was working with me over at work, he was looking up on Google thing about there's an island somewhere up north somewhere that you can go out to, and it was like an old sane asylum type deal. They have their own graveyard out back or somewhere when somebody passed away, and they just dug a hole and stick them in, didn't even put the names or nothing like that in there. And he looked it up. We was actually planning to go one time, and I forget, something came up and we couldn't get to go and everything like that. So I'm gonna have to talk to him about that and see what the house we investigated for global ghost hunts is. 174 years old. In 1861 was the Union headquarters and hospital. Then in 1863 was Confederate headquarters and hospital. Oh, cool.
Wow.
That's very interesting. See, I've only been to one major Civil War place, and that was the Appomattox Courthouse. That was a really wild place. When I got out of the truck and stepped my foot on that ground, I started crying because I know I never would make it to a Civil War place in my lifetime, and that was crazy. That was really amazing place.
I've been to a couple. Octagon Hall was one. There's a fort here. I wish you could come here visit, because it's called Fort Harker, and the only thing left of it is just the dirt walls. There's no, like, you can still see where the cannons were and everything, but we went there and investigated. And then the place where the Confederates chased Union soldiers across the water, we've been there.
Yeah.
And when we were investigating at that fort, they were like saying witchcraft and what are these things that you do, things like that, like in that time frame. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there are very interesting things that you can find out. Sometimes it might not make sense to you, but in the long run, when you sit and replay the video or replay the recording that you listen to, you can actually understand what they're talking about and, equal up to what you asked questions. I asked questions one time, I didn't ever think I got the answer for it, and I kept playing my recorder 3 or 4 times, and I finally figured out it actually answered me, but in a different form.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It just like beat around the bush for telling me the answer that could take him 2 seconds, but it took him about 5, 10, 20 minutes just to tell me a 2-second answer.
So,
Lordy.
I love old places. History is just one thing I can't get enough of.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean about that.
That's one of the reasons why I started the Appalachian channel, because of the history and the stories. Right now, I'm
Yeah.
actually working on a story about some outlaws from Alabama. So
Yeah.
I got 4 or 5 of them I'm gonna do.
My favorite race car driver back in the day, their family's from Alabama. The Allison family. Davy Allison and all them. They called the Alabama gang. That's I watched racing back when I was growing up, and he was one I was pulling for, and actually it was pretty good. So,
Oh yeah.
the internet threw me out, but I'm back. All right, let me throw the Mayberry cooking recipe up. Maybe all y'all wants to see it right quick. I did put a new one up today. No, it ain't paranormal, but a lot of people say they like them Mayberry recipes from Andy Griffith's show. Here's one. It's called Goober Beanie Casserole. Y'all want to take a snapshot of that? Sorry, it ain't too big, but it's very interesting. But I wouldn't eat this around open flames whatsoever.
Oh man.
I should have put that in the description there. Do not eat around open flame.
That's hilarious. Oh. Somebody had given my dad some like 7 or 8 bean soup. You know, it's like a bunch of different beans in a jar.
Yeah.
And I brought that stuff home, put it in a crock, you know, let it soak overnight like you do dry beans, and then put it in a crock pot with a ham hock in it. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, yeah.
That was good stuff.
Yeah. See, I got my Mayberry cookbook right here. So that's what I've been getting all my stuff out of. Everybody liked it the other night, so I thought I might do a few recipes out there, make people a little bit of everything in each show.
Yeah. How off the hook for you?
Yeah. Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming in. We're actually getting ready to close her out the door. I really appreciate you coming in, though. I ran out of things to ask Stephen here and talk to him about. So, is there anything you want to say? Talk about your channel, your stories, type of stories you tell, and
Yeah, on that one, it's a lot of history, a lot of legends. You know, the Alabama Outlaws, and then done historic figures. Like I said, legends like the Witch of Hines Road. That was one I did, and
no.
of course on the Myers Paranormal cemetery explorations, investigations, just all sorts of stuff. Autumn does the inspirational videos, and I'm should be releasing some point, maybe tomorrow, all the pictures that we took during the scavenger hunt. So all that'll be a little
Okay,
video.
I can't wait.
So
I've been wondering what all y'all found and seen and stuff and like that. That's
and we're actually thinking about redoing it, like as a video, just see, you know, what other things we can find too. But just got to get time.
Yeah.
It's been busy.
I'm already started working on next year's card, so I've got not quite half of it done yet, but it's going to be different than what this year's is. It's going to be a little more finding it. Instead of 13, it's going to be probably like 20 something or.
Oh yeah.
Make
well,
it
them 13 was rough.
Making it a little bit more challenging.
So I'm looking forward to it. I thought, man, is this really going to be that fun? But that was absolutely cool looking. And I don't know about some of the stones up there, but there's some here that if they weren't good people, they told what they did when they died on their headstone.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
No, I ain't never seen nothing like that before.
Yeah, there's a cemetery. It's called Belfont or whatever. And it has her name, date, and then said that this person drank themselves to death, or this person went and robbed somebody and was shot to death. And I was like, oh my God. This person was convicted of robbing one of them was a Confederate grave, and it told that they had robbed a Union pay guard or something like that, a Union paymaster, and they were hung at the neck for treason. I was like, holy crap.
Good gracious.
Oh yeah. That was crazy.
I ain't never seen nothing like that. Now I'll be paying more attention to that now when I go to cemeteries.
There were some of those up there in Kentucky
Yeah.
that told, hang for treason or hang for robbing an army paymaster or whatever.
Yeah. That's
So,
very interesting.
and I found, if you just say pick a town, go to their courthouse square, you'll find some history. And on our way back, we stopped at multiple courthouse squares. And one of them had a museum that was open on the day that we came. Like, that was the only day that they let people in, and we were allowed to film it.
Yeah.
And one of the courthouse squares actually had cannons from Fort Morgan out front.
Yeah.
And I had just written and read that story. So that was kind of cool, getting to actually see the cannons in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's all kind of neat stuff going on. You never know.
Yeah, you don't really know. Well, man, I hate to say goodnight, but it's already 10 o'clock. So I really enjoyed talking to you. I appreciate you coming up. You're actually my first guest on the Paranormal Journey show.
Well, it's an honor. I appreciate getting to come up here and chat and have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting to listen to your story about your trip and the scavenger hunt thing. I cannot wait for the video for that you're talking about coming out.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed having you as a guest. Anytime that I ask you, always come up if you can, and I really enjoy that, and I appreciate you so much.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's see. PW says, "Good night, everyone. Thank you for the laughs and fun. It was great. I appreciate you coming in. I'm glad you have a good time. Everybody have a blessed night." She says, "Bye to Vicky, the Queen."
Oh, Lord.
Everybody that was in here tonight, off the hook. I know he done left, but I do appreciate him so much. He is an awesome guy. Y'all can go check him out too. He does hunting and fishing. He takes kids fishing and hunting and stuff. His motto says to always take a kid fishing or hunting. PW, appreciate you so much. J&J Breaks, he's got a good channel. He does gaming and he does cards and stuff. So Native Wild Man, he does his famous tea time. Professional paranormal research. Appreciate him coming in. David, also everybody. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. So everybody, good night, and I will see y'all later. You have a good night, Stephen.
All right. See y'all.
So everybody, appreciate each and every one of you, and y'all have a Wonderful night. Bye, everybody.